My Gavanen Melodine, and well met indeed. I'm Arachia Galadurthan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer, and welcome back to the same as we continue on as Enedwaith. Now, for the benefit of those watching as a normal video, last time we besieged Eisenrun, as you can see in front of us right here, and we have two of our very best armies assaulting, well, one really good army and one kind of army, attacking Eisenrun. We need to start moving on Rohan, because we've done what we need to do up in the north, because of course last time Athamor rose as our new capital and new seat of power for the Empire of Enedwaith, or rather the Confederacy of Athamor. So we've completed the script for Enedwaith, and now we can just move on with winning the game, really. We need to control 25 regions, and we have 17, so we're actually really close to winning. Alkford is upgrading to a city, so you'll be able to see what that looks like in due course. But today, and for much of the focus of the remainder of this playthrough, really, will be about taking down Rohan. Rohan have got a number of forces around the area that can all come over and assist, but Isengard is doing what it can to piggyback off of my success and move their armies in to surround the towns and help us when Rohan inevitably tries to attack us. But right now, I believe we are at an end turn, so we can just do that. We don't really need you up there, actually. Let's go and pull all of these people back. So that we can go and have a look at what's happening in Rohan, really. Have we got someone else somewhere else? Oh, look at that. I don't need you watching our own towns. I think that's it. 2 spies and 2 diplomats. Yes. So let us end the turn. So that is a brief rundown. We are now just going to go after Rohan. So good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Well done, Hiram. You are first. Mark the note and note the date and time. This is truly a story you'll be telling your grandchildren. Hello, Vladimir Simonovich. Hello, 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 hello. Good morning, everyone. I'm very well, thank you, Adrian. Quick weather update for you. It's not a very nice day today. It's cloudy, overcast, and very windy, so it's not going to be a great one. But I was hoping for a bit of sun, but alas, there is none. Good morning to you. Well, it's not morning for you, is it? Good afternoon, Michael Watkins from Sydney. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello from Hungary. Good morning, Galu. Good morning, Galu. Lithuania here. Good morning. Buenos dias, Galu. Greetings from Argentina. Oh, hello. Greetings, greetings. Berkeley Smith, straight in with a question. Doing away with the formalities, just hitting straight in there with a question, asking about dwarves. Hey Gallo, would it be possible to bring some of the dwarves we see in The Hobbit, such as Dori, Nori, Dwalin, Biffa, Boffa, and Bomber? Once the ancient dwarven realms are ruled by dwarves, they spawn in. Well, Nori is part of Khazad-dûm. He spawns for you when you take that, and so does... Oh, I didn't mute my phone. So does one of the others. I can't remember who. But one of them becomes your scribe and becomes a diplomat, and the other one becomes a general, I'm sure. Dwalin is... Oh, Dwalin's the one that becomes a general. So it's Dwalin and Nori are both in Khazad-dûm, so they're already in it, I'm afraid. But otherwise, no, that there's no point just spawning in loads and loads and loads of generals. It's just a waste of time, personally. Right, Hierat has built communal farming. Londare has built a fairground. Bregnas has built some roads. Oh, and you can build something else. Blacksmith, why not? You can retrain those units, even though you can't actually train the archers. Argont has got communal farming. Oh, you can get a shipwright. You are now where once you were the site of many fights against Dunland and a back and forth between our two nations. You now stand as one of our most peaceful regions, bordering a firm ally, far away from the front lines. So you're going to have to be turned to economy, even though you are a castle and they're not really that great at economy. And we need 4,500 more people before you will turn into a stronghold, so that's a long way off. Rohan did not attack us, which I find rather interesting, but I think we'll probably hit Dior again. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Vote now how many generals will die. No generals will die. Awesome Finbro. Does ranged units accuracy count on friendly fire casualties? For example, having poor accuracy means more likely doing damage to units. Yes, exactly that. If you imagine the arrow fired as a solid projectile rather than... Because in some games, the arrow itself won't actually mean anything, and the calculation of the damage done by the ranged unit is calculated the minute it fires. Well, that's not the case in Total War games. Each arrow is an actual projectile, and whatever it hits, it will damage. So whether that's your own team or the enemy team, you'll damage someone. Oh, let's press Dior and get him out, and just try and thin down the numbers around the edge of the main Rohirric force. So if your units are not very accurate, they are more likely to hit your own units, yes. Greetings from Rabanastre. I don't know where Rabanastre is, and you've done it a disservice by not capitalizing it. Ah, hello from Italy. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, this is one of those horrible battle maps where it's bright white. It's very difficult to see what's going on. We attacked them, so we do unfortunately have to actually do that. We've only got 2 archers. That's it, sucky. Alright, well, we've got 2 archer units, so we'll use those. And we've got a few Jav units, so we'll use those. Don't actually need to be in defensive stance, I don't think. Form a line. And then we've got plenty of these Foul and Border Guards, who can form our main defensive bulk. And then we've got an aggressive line that we'll worry about in a second. I don't actually know what Rohan's bringing in this fight. Obviously, cavalry is assured, but what are they bringing alongside it? And they've got a hell of a lot of cavalry. Alright, so Foul and Border Guards. Let's make ourselves known. Move yourselves forward. Let's go with a standard javelin behind the line approach. Let's get some... Everyone is sprinting, aren't you? Yeah. Let's just pause it real quick because they're moving into position way faster than hoped. Right, you're going to go over on that side. And archers, you can already fire, so you might as well just carry on. Speed her up, speed her up. There we are. Our defensive line is now in position. All of our border guards. Hold your position, hold your position, hold your position. We've got Rohirrim archers. Oh, let's loosen off the mouse. Arid skirmishers, they throw javelins. I can barely see them at the moment. I feel like my retinas are being burnt out of my skull. The snow is so bright. There's Arid swordmen in the back. They look very nice. I like that helmet. Simple yet very effective. And there's Riddermark axemen, also looking very tasty. And then some Yawling spearmen over on the far side. They've been upgraded. And some of them have the leather whatevers, surcoat, tabard, chest piece maybe. We've got some Rohirrim, the standard Rohirric cavalry, a very good horse unit. And they're moving backwards and forwards. Oh, there's some peasant scouts over the back, but they too look like they've been upgraded. I don't think they have helmets when they're not unupgraded, I don't know. And then there's the ballista crew. Something that I have asked, I put on the work to-do list some time ago, and whether it gets done remains to be seen. But something that we can do is change the colour of each ballista or any siege crew, depending on the nation that uses it. That is something that the files allow. So textures can be different on a per faction basis, but the model cannot. So the model has to remain the same, but the textures can be different. And so in layman's terms, that means you can change the colours of the units dependent on their faction. And I really would quite like to do that, to be honest. Rather than having all humans share this same siege crew, we could make it so that the Rohirric one, for example, is all green and the Dale one is all blue. And whilst that's a very minor visual change, that's something that the base game uses a lot. That's the main way that the base game actually differentiates their units, to be honest. We are going to get smashed by those Rohirrim, but we've pinned them in place. And we've forced the enemy to move at us as well, so that's nice. Any thoughts on the upcoming release of The Nature of Middle-earth? I've absolutely no idea what that is, I'm afraid. Oh, you'll have to enlighten me. Arthur de Helm is how I'm assuming you pronounce your name. By the way, Gallo, I never asked, but why are you saying pardon my French when you say some bad words? Is it something people always say? Where does it come from? I have no idea where it comes from, but in England it is customary to say pardon my French whenever you swear. I've never questioned it. Everyone I've ever known does it. I don't know where it started or why it started. I don't know why speaking foully is reminiscent of French. Who knows? I'm sure the French have plenty of little things for us. I recently learned, if Reddit is to be believed, that apparently for French people, eating lunch at your desk is called having a British lunch. Whether there's any truth to that or not, I don't know, but it seems something that's quite likely, because up until very recently, it was illegal to have lunch at your desk in France, wasn't it? So it wouldn't surprise me if they have a name for it. And we, unfortunately, in modern times, Britain and France have a healthy and prosperous relationship. We're no longer at each other's throats, so instead we do it in subtle digs at one another through our everyday lives. And it's pleasant, it's enjoyable. It gives us something to rally around. If you're ever in England and you don't know what to talk about, just moan about the French. Just moan about something French. And almost certainly, at least one of the people that you're talking to will chuckle or will nod or will say something in addition. It's a common conversation topic, really. We've got the weather. We talk about the weather all the time. If you're talking to someone you've never met before, standard conversation topics are to discuss the weather. And but if you're talking with people who you know a little bit better, I mean, I wouldn't use it on someone you've never met before, but if you're talking to people you know a little well, moaning about French people will give you at least maybe 10 minutes of conversation. It's just the benefit of living in England, you see. You get these wonderful benefits. I've not really been paying attention because we're smashing them. We're absolutely annihilating them. And the army that we're using here is our backup follow-through army. It's not even our main army. It doesn't matter if it dies or takes losses, so I've not really been paying attention. The cavalry did hit us quite hard on that northern flank, but we in turn have decimated their cavalry, so it cost them more than it cost us. Oh look, the Yorling archers are chasing down our peasant farmhand biker. Go on, Yorling archers, you get stuck in there, sons. Something that I have seen suggested on Discord, and I did add to our list, so hopefully White in the Black Cloud or Hummingbird can get round to it, is giving the Helmingus a hammer for their melee weapon in honour of their namesake, which actually I think is a really good idea, and just a nice way of adding a bit of flavour to a unit that otherwise is reminiscent of Helm in their name, but they can follow through with that with a hammer as a weapon, which I think would be good. Good morning, Cal Creator. Good morning indeed. Lord, rush Isengard and or hold the ford. We're not going to attack Isengard. I've said this about 5 times now. I don't want to fight Isengard. We've fought them before. We've never fought Rohan. So we're just going to slowly beat Rohan out of the game and see what Rohan has to offer. I mean, we have fought Rohan before, but a very long time ago, whereas Isengard features in a lot of episodes. What is still alive? Something over here is still kicking us, isn't it? Oh, sellswords, of course. Wash them. Oh, I haven't looked at Lord of Lynx's suggestions for the voiceovers. I'm sure they'll be fine, actually. I'll probably just send them off to the to Special Sunday, and then we can get some more Enedwaith voices into the mod. I need to do some modding today, actually, in preparation for next weekend when we start the Woodland Realm campaign. Now, when I last checked, actually, yes, Lothlorien were winning, and I last checked about 4 days ago. And they were winning by about 2 or 3 votes. But because it's incredibly tight between the two, I like to then choose one that I'm actually going to enjoy playing. And I think we played Lothlorien sooner, or we played Lothlorien not as long ago as we played the Woodland Realm. So I'm going to play as the Woodland Realm instead. I also think because the last time we played the Woodland Realm, I'm sure we lost, whereas the Lothlorien one, I'm fairly certain we won. I think we've got everyone now. Why is this not actually over? Who's still fighting? So many of you can now post your comments about how I disregard all your votes all the time, and what's the point of having a vote if I'm just going to choose a faction? Well, I wanted to make sure that the Wood Elves were the faction of choice. So the vote mostly was to make sure that you were all in agreement that we should play as either the Woodland Realm or Lothlorien. And then thereafter, I always wanted to play as the Woodland Realm. So, I mean, in many ways, I should have just played as the Woodland Realm. But what if we'd done the poll and everyone wanted us to play as Gondor, for example? Then me playing as a Woodland Realm would have been foolish because people wouldn't want to watch it. But now that I've got the knowledge that you're all keen to watch either Woodland Realm or Lothlorien, then I'll choose Woodland Realm. I don't know which of these units we're waiting to run, but if I exit the battle now, it will count as a loss because they haven't actually retreated. They are just running away. A very small but very distinct difference in this game. Oh, it's the blooming Ballister crew. There we go. Hacking away at us while we're not even paying attention. Very, very evenly spread. 47, 46, 42, 42. 47, though, is the actual winner, Fowlon Warriors. We did lose a fair few. They paid for that in parity, really. Why not give Helmingus hammers for hands? Helm, hammer hand and all that. Nature of Middle-earth is J.R.R. Tolkien's new book. I believe it's currently available for pre-order from all good bookshops. More of his unpublished material been edited by Carl F. Hostetter. Oh, it's the first book in the hands of that gentleman and not Christopher, isn't it? No, if I'm honest, I'm not all that interested in it. I've already got almost everything that's been published by Tolkien, and many of the later ones are just, to my mind, dull and boring, to be honest. Particularly of note is Beren and Luthien and the Fall of Gondolin, which are both just stories we already know from the Silmarillion, But now you get to learn the different stages the story went through before he arrived at the final stage. And call me a Sassenach if you will, but I just don't find that interesting. I've read the story of the Fall of Gondolin, and I've read some of the surrounding material of the Fall of Gondolin through the History of Middle-earth, the book series that came out a long time ago. And I don't then want to read essentially what is a almost non-fiction book about a fictional topic, if you will. It's like the Fall of Gondolin book is as if someone in Lord of the Rings, the universe itself, was writing a sort of historical documentary about the Gondolin. They just don't read like interesting books, so I probably won't read The Nature of Middle-earth now. Gally, do you have a sponsorship deal with Crew Clothing? No, I just really like Crew Clothing. Almost everything I own pretty much comes from them because I'm just boring, I'm afraid. Right, where's our spy? Oh, we're in the same turn that we moved everyone. Surely not. No, I was going to say, I didn't think so. Oh, and we can't get past because of the bloody Dunlending diplomat. The Dunlending... What is this? Bugger off, son. Yeah, sod off back over there, mate. There we are, and the army moves through.
Continue tomorrow.
Our elites are being trained. Nice. We don't really need you anymore. Bree's really got Dunland. But then, no, we want to keep them just in case. You never know. Dunland might turn on us again. Might think that their time against Bree is... that they're winning against Bree, and they should push back to try and hit us. But otherwise we can end the turn. I did indeed get spanked as the Woodland Realm, says Andrew Robert Glassford. Yes, I do remember dying quite badly, so I would like to have another go at that re-roll of the dice. Vincent Khadibi says, don't kill Legolas as soon this time as you did last time. Let him see the sea. Yes, I probably did get Legolas killed rather early, didn't I? What you will be able to see, actually, if we play as the Woodland Realm, is the new general... No, he was... no. Enpremi's general was added for Lothlorien. So no, you won't, I'm afraid. Michael Watkins says, Gallo, are there going to be any new unique units for the Reunited Kingdom? Something with a name like Elisar's Chosen would be cool. I don't really know about the Reunited Kingdom units yet. We haven't discussed it at any great length. We would quite like to have at least 1 or 2 units that are unlocked by reforming the Reunited Kingdom. Just so that you do get a reward for it, as well as taking on the burden of all of Gondor's lands. But we just haven't decided yet what that will be. We're also going to have to implement a script to... Anyway, that's by the by. I'm just thinking out loud. Right, Dunland. These people are interchangeable to us. Rohan really don't want me to take Eisenrun, and they're pulling all the forces that they can, but equally they realise that they are woefully outmatched, and so they don't want to attack me, and I'm not going to be pushing Eisenrun anytime soon. It would be suicide to try and take that. So I think what we can do is go over and just besiege Folberg, keep them guessing. Oh no, that was a terrible idea, he's definitely going to die. Sorry, Trunian, that's definitely the end of your life. Whoops. Right, send the spy out. Ginyard also has a giant garrison where we find Ulrich von Liechtenstein of Gelderland. And what of Helm's Deep itself? Helm's Deep Reach. The Hornburg has almost no one in it, where we find Peda. What an interesting name. Well, our spy can see both places from there, so we'll hold there. Oh, we could totally have gone round and just taken the Hornburg from under their noses. We are mustering an actual elite army up here. We're training only our best. And one more turn for them to all come through, so we'll end the turn again. Need to tinker with the end turn sounds. And there it is, as expected. Do we think you'll actually be able to win this? Swidhelm and Eamund, Rittermark Cav. There's full units of ground infantry. Arid swords, Rittermark axes, and what of Hunwald? A lot of cavalry. We have got the 4 Fowland Border Guards, 5 Fowland Border Guards. We've got a few pikes. And that army is just almost all cavalry. 3 to 5. Now, I'm sure we're going to lose it, but we're going to fight it anyway. Let's see what we can do. The snows have passed. The day might be ours. Executing your plan of attack. Gallo, I often wondered if you ever played Lord of the Rings online, yet never heard you say anything about it. Do you have any opinion on the game? I've never played Lord of the Rings online. Sorry. I've seen it a couple of times in videos and things, but I've never played it myself, so I couldn't possibly comment. Gallo, are there going to be any new unique units to the arcade? We've covered that. Greetings from Bristol, Gallo. Hello, Ruben Emery. Greetings from Leighton Buzzard. Right, we're going to be completely surrounded, and the cavalry is going to rush us like there's nobody's business. So ideally we want to be more defensive. I'm not worried about what Isengard are going to get up to. We'll take this little hill here, because their reinforcements are coming in over there as well, and we don't want to get our army cut off. We're going to deploy the old Macedon Pike Circle. When you're up against a shed load of cavalry, creating a no-flank formation is really the best bet. Should have put the pikes in the middle. It doesn't really matter where the pikes go. It does not matter where the pikes go. The enemy will just avoid the pikes. The AI is at least clever enough to realise it shouldn't charge its cavalry into the pikes. Right, and then we've got our ranged units can come behind. I'm almost certain we're going to lose this, by the way. We just don't... We're fighting with our early tier units. This is a recipe for disaster. But we can at least give them a good old going over, can't we? We'll try and hold as best we can. Right, who does that leave? You guys. 2 Fowland warriors. Just stand wherever. We'll stand you facing backwards at the moment, just in case they do decide to come from our back. But I doubt that they will.
The enemy are bringing in reinforcements.
There we are. Hold your ground. All troops are to hold formation. Do not break and do not quake. We have defeated the Horse Lords many times over, and we will do so again. And though today our lives may be forfeit, our service to Enedwaith will not be forgotten, and we pave the way for greater victories in the future. We will be remembered. Look at what Rohan faces as they ride up the hill. Lines and lines of hidden border guard who are about to pop up out of nowhere. They're sending the Rohirrim archers on a suicide mission. I'd welcome that. And there they are, the Fowland border guard stand up. The sword and castle of Heret standing tall. It's probably pronounced Hert, I expect, actually. Because it can't be pronounced Heret, because it became Hart. And these things have to have a link. They have to have you need to be able to see the clear passage. So I don't think anyone ever probably pronounced it Herot, but I imagine it was pronounced Hert, and then it became Hart because that's easier to say. Often these things change because people don't know how to read or write. So everyone talks by word of mouth, but no one in the village knows how to write anything down. And then a wandering scholar will visit who does know how to write something down, and someone will say to him, "Oh, that's the town of Hart." And then he'll just write Hart exactly as he thinks. And then that's what it will be. But then the elders of the village, for example, who didn't bump into the scribe, will know that actually it's supposed to be written H-E-O-R. And that's often how these things mutate over time. I find it fascinating how things do mutate. I used to live in a place called Hemel Hempstead, which is... And even for England and the surrounding towns, it's a name you don't see very often. Stead is obviously fairly common, but Hemel is almost nowhere else represented in England. And it means Heaven's Homestead. But it's been mutated over time so much, and it's Hemel Hempstead. Obviously, it never started as Heaven's Homestead, but that's what it means. Right, anyway, enough of this. Turning our attention back to the armies, they're about to hit our line. Our Macedon circle has proved rather effective. Goodness gracious. They've absolutely massacred you. Your spear units. What has happened there? You've let them punch like 5 lines deep. Widow Arcaxmen are going to slaughter our Fowland border guards, who look like they're already routing, to be honest. Bugger. Our grand plan to form our great defensive circle. And where's Isengard in all this? What did Isengard actually bring to the table? Oh, Isengard's disrupting the other army, who aren't actually even bothered with us. They are going just for Isengard's forces. There's some Orkmen Spear Guard, and there are some Uruk-hai archers and some Warg marauders. Oh look, they hover well above the Warg. But if we lower them down, their legs will glitch into the Warg, so you have to choose how you want them to appear. Right, let's move some of these units in then. As you are not going to actually be attacked, so let's just make you more aggressive. Guys, come out of defensive stance. You can push. Keep throwing axes, keep throwing javelins, do what you can. Come out of that and sprint. Oh, the clan heralds are ready. If you're going to die, you might as well try and take people down with you. Rohan bodyguards are sprinting for us. Where's our pikes? Come and get over there. Try and use the pikes to cut off the general. See what we can do, see what we can do. Get those pikes down. No! Put the pikes down! Oh dear. Medieval 2. Anyone not involved, you can be involved. You might as well just run forward, you might as well just run forward, and you might as well just run forward. Oh, more Rohan bodyguards. Archers are firing away. Well, this one's lost. Gallo, how is your job as a general for Bree? I don't understand that reference. Apologies.
Pray something changes in the course of battle, for defeat seems almost certain.
Welcome, Andreas. Thank you for the pleasant words. Basilios Konstantinos the 11th has decided to join us. We're blessed and honoured by your royal presence, sir. Right, you're Truanan, aren't you? Yeah, just come back and try and kill someone. Let's speed this up. This is over. Let's just try and get to the end quicker. Many of our units are routing. Oh, he's been caught by Rohan bodyguards, actually. Oh, he's been massacred by Rohan bodyguards. Whoops. We always knew he was going to die, though. I mean, I can exit, can't I? And it will save his life. But we were always going to lose. We were always going to lose. I have been to Norfolk, but I've never tried to pronounce any of their names. And I never would have guessed that Happisburgh would be Haysbro. Thank you very much for the what I now assume to be... No, I have no idea what that is currency, sorry. But thank you for the 50 of whatever currency that is. That's very greatly appreciated. My co-sirs. Mikosers, my sosers. I don't know how to pronounce your name either. But is it possible to have Borderless Window in the game? Yes. Little do you know that you're actually currently watching Borderless Window. It's very easy to turn on Borderless Window, and all you need to really do is just Google Medieval 2 Borderless Window, and you will find about 19 different websites that teach you how to do it. It's incredibly simple. Hello, iPhoton1234. Well, there 1,233 iPhotons, and that was the first number available. Charles Barrow says, a crazy idea. Can you make the river south of the Sea of Rhun navigable and connect through Mordor and the Sea of Nirn to the Greater Sea? Is it obscene? Yes, but it would be fun to sail up from there. We don't really like extending all of these massive rivers. It doesn't serve much of a purpose, to be honest. And it creates ocean tiles, and it creates more regions where we have to tell the AI they can't build ships. And it's just a lot of hassle for little work. Ah, Karas Galadon has been turned... Oh, and he did die. Oh, that's a shame. Your sacrifice, I want to say will not be in vain, but let's be honest, it totally was. I just completely offered you up as a pawn. That's not the end of the world. I mean, it's the end of your world, but it's not the end of ours. We'll carry on in your stead, don't worry, don't worry. So here's a question for all 279 of you. Wow, welcome, welcome. Happy Saturday to each and every one. Question for you all, totally unrelated to what we're watching, but something that... I've been playing Warhammer 2 on the channel for some time now. At the minute we were doing the Sisters of Twilight, and we're likely to win in the coming weeks. But I'm really enjoying playing Warhammer, and I like having Warhammer on the channel, because it just gives something else to watch, and it's vicariously linked to what we actually do play. My question would be to you all, and if you wouldn't watch Warhammer in any event, then you just simply need not reply. But if you were likely to watch a Warhammer video, which faction do you think is the most enjoyable to watch on YouTube? And certainly for someone with my playstyle, which is, I would say, cautiously foolish, someone who frequently blunders their way through the game, what do you think would be the best faction to play? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts while we all watch as Enedwaith grows into a powerhouse. 2,298, yes, Buzzardom. Expressing their wealth. Oh, there's the army did survive. Well done, Haldad. Why don't you go and sit in a fort somewhere or something.
Yes.
Oh, yes, a bloody long way round. If that's the way you've got to go, it's the way you've got to go. Alright, Rodokan's fine, you're fine, but we're bringing Scottythe down, aren't we?
Yes, my lord.
Yeah, we are. You can keep moving through.
Stopping here.
So, we've got Dwarves, Vampire Coast, Empire, definitely Empire, Greenskins, Empire, Dwarves, Vampires. So what I'm seeing very much from those comments is Dwarves, Empires, or Vampires. Please, it is your channel, do what you want, don't bother with overthinking. See, I understand that thought process, Steel Crusader, but when I do what I want, no one watches. So I'd rather find an idea of what you actually would like to see, and then even though I'm accepting that they'll be 25% as popular as DaC videos, I'm happy with that, I'm fine with that. I'm not here for the YouTube career, just here for a bit of a laugh. But it helps me to at least know that people want to watch what I am playing as. Imric, the Dragon Lord person. He's very cool and you get Dragon Quest. Well, I only played the High Elves a little while ago. Lots of love for the vampires there. Dwarves and vampires seem to be coming out on top. But the dwarves have a playstyle that, to be honest, I love. Build a wall, throw artillery at the enemy, and then you've won the game. But the dwarves, I find, tend to make for boring spectacle because you don't have any you don't have like any individual units that go on rampages, and you don't have. Well, I mean, you can with 1 or 2 units, but for the most part, every single battle is how we play Divide and Conquer. Here's my defensive line, come at me. But then that's because that's my default, I suppose. I'm not very good at the more macro or micro heavy armies of here's 5 cavalry units running around the side while the archers are attacking this unit at the back. I tend to fail when I have to do that much. Micromanagement. Aha! Our elite units are finally here. Yes. Chaos, your lord becomes immortal. Chaos, I couldn't bring myself to play as Chaos. It's like many of you have all suggested Skaven, and I'm grateful for your honesty, but of course we all know that there'd be a cold day in hell before I play as the Skaven. So I think they're out. Where did Halberd go? Keep going to your forts now. We are just ending turn at the moment, I'm afraid, because I don't want to waste my army on Eisenrun. We'll wait till Rohan attacks me. It's going to be an almighty battle, but they will attack me. They won't let that sit in... they won't allow our transgression to pass. They will not allow us to just take the city without a fight. So there is a battle coming. We can only take 3 more units. Probably the Dunlending Raiders are the best unit to get to take out of that. Oh no, they're actually pretty good. They're on par with everyone else. Oh, the Dovesheath Elders. Let's get rid of them. Well, that's interesting. They speak with an Eastern accent.
March to exhaustion, continuing later. My lord. Orders. My lord.
They all speak with normal accents. What about Dovesheath Foresters? They speak with normal accents. So it's just the Elders. Empire, even if I don't watch. Estalia, gentlemen. Well, Estalia require a major mod, and I'm always a bit on the fence about adding a mod to Warhammer. I like to try and get the most out of the base experience first.
I shall continue tomorrow.
Goblins of Moria and Mordor at war, because Karas Galathon's always the start of the invasion. The invasions are so annoying. Like, the game, all the information about invasions tells you that actually invasions will randomly choose from whatever list from any of the nation, any of the regions that you have added the invasion line to. So there's a little tag that you put in the regions that makes it the target of an invasion, and that's it. And then the game itself chooses which target to take. In practice, the game basically just takes the first entry and just always invades that over and over and over and over again. And it's so annoying. And I assume probably because in the base game, and Jerusalem was probably always the main target. So they didn't need to bother, because that's quite lore accurate, isn't it? That Jerusalem is the target of the invasion. And if Jerusalem's held by Christians, then of course the crusade will go on against someone else. It will then go down the list and take the next one. But because 9 times out of 10 it will always be Jerusalem, no one ever bats an eyelid at that, because that's what it's supposed to do. But in this, obviously, we want it to be random, but it's just always Lothlorien over and over and over again. Right, we'll have a look at Hierid in a second. Alkford, sorry, which is just upgraded. And you can get Clambic Muster Ground, you can get Chicken Farming, Grave Stories, just build it all, what the heck. Basildom got its Leather Tanner. Let's also just build basically everything. No reason not to. And Bregnas, do the same. Right, so we've got our first Wildman. upgraded city. So this is an Enedwaith city, and indeed an Anduin one, and also a Dunlending one if you play as them. Let's find a town first. Is Karas still a town? Oh, there's a diplomat in the way, and it's an Orc one anyway. Over here. One of these has got to be a town, surely. There we are, Enedwaith large town. So that's what it looks like as a large town. So you can see it's still a sort of familiar shape. Oh, does the home key take me to my capital? Oh, it does, but my capital's Athamore now. But you'll note instead you've got these high stone walls that you can see at the front, and then there's stone underneath the wood all the way around, and then it shifts the focus of the settlement to look a little bit more like Edoras, really, with a big hall in the top left. But it is good, is the moral of the story. We like it a lot. Thank you all for the suggestions. My takeaway from that is that Vampire Counts, Skaven, Empire, and Dwarves are the most popular, far and away. And so it would be best to be one of them. Now, I must confess, the Empire is the one I would enjoy the most. I think everyone enjoys the Empire the most. No, we can just end the turn again there. Our backup army of actual elites is on its way as well, so they'll be able to get into the action soon. I'm surprised at how simple is probably the word I would use this campaign has been. We haven't really come up against any threats, but then every campaign is different. And in this one, Isengard allied with us. Had we not allied with Isengard, this might have been a totally different story. So I'm not jonesing to change anything just yet. Because you need to run more than one test to see. From one test, you can get the feel of what certain units feel like, if they're available too easily. But you don't really get a feel of how the whole campaign's going to play. You need to play 2 or 3 times to see if something is a trend or if it's a random event. Right, we're being called into a battle because Ishlik's being attacked by Den, who's got quite a good Rohirric force, actually. And Eogar's involved as well. But I don't really want to get into that battle. Why am I not just being asked to assist? Why am I being pulled into it? My forces don't attack an army of Rohan. Ishlik bloody did. If I withdraw, what would happen then? And which army? We're the Life, aren't we? Which is this fellow over here. I can't even click on him. I don't really want to fight that, to be honest. I'd rather just wait for the all-encompassing defense that Eisenrunner that they're going to do. But... so if we can get Isengard to take most of the losses, we'll fight it. What are the stats like for the new Dunlending Cav? Don't know yet. I haven't really seen them, I'm afraid. What am I drinking? I'm drinking a mix of Tesco's cherries and berries squash combined with Vimto's pink squash. I don't know what they called it, but the normal Vimto is like a Ribena colour, but this Vimto is pink.
The enemy are bringing in reinforcements.
Oh, look at that. We even start as reinforcements. Oh, Ishlik, you are going to get massacred. Oh, he's got Orthanc Guard, and he's got Uruk-hai Pikes, Uruk-hai Infantry, and Pikes. So he's actually got 4 really good units, but he's just woefully outnumbered. And we're miles away. We're not getting involved anytime soon. Look at that. And why have I got 2 Ballister crews? I don't remember bringing Ballister. If you're deciding between Dwarves and Empire, you're deciding between Scottish and German accents. Well, you'd think you were, but in Warhammer 2, the Empire all speak in proper English. Summon the Elector Counts! I don't think a single one of them has a German accent. They all have German names, of course, but they don't have German accents. Oh, are they coming over to decide to come and hit me instead? It looks that way. Right, let's move everyone forward. Let's get going, chaps.
Battle seems to be swinging in our favour. From such
Yeah, they're moving to hit us.
victory
Right, pause.
emerges.
Right, you two, just stop exactly where you are and start shooting at something. And we have no archers at all. Oh dear, this is worrying. Absolutely not a single one. Javelins. Oh, look, we're not going to get to that hill before the cavalry hits us. Leodan, just form a line there. Just get me into a line, please. We have too many forces, and the AI is just going to rush us out. It's bloody annoying. Right, can we take every defensive themed unit and group them together, team 1 them, and try and stand in a line there? And the 3 that we've just got to throw things, come and stand behind them. And then all of the aggressive themed units, form a team, and if you would be so kind as to move over here. Just walk over that way for now. Oh, look, you're all the way over there, though. Oh, you're all over the place. I really dislike our army being so disjointed. Everyone is to run. Run, 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 run. Oh, there we go. They got set up in place at least. And that Rohirric cavalry's charging on us, so we'll just kill those off. Alright, so let's get them all killed, and then we can focus on dealing with setting up a real force. Oh wow, what range have you got? Oh, you are going for the Royal Guard. No, you're just deciding to miss. Who knows what they're up to. We'll worry about that another time. Lead on Spearman turn. Spears up. Shield wall. Pikes turn and face. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah, nice. Yes, they've gone for the shield wall. They did lose a few because they weren't in the wall in time. Come out of shield wall, run around the back. Right, you guys over here, form a line for me. You're not our defensive units, it's disappointing. All of you will take out that Royal Guard.
We will smash the enemy.
Move forward, just get yourselves up and involved. Oh, those are our ranged units, they're not doing anything where they are. Got some cav over there. Bulk of our defensive units are currently fighting off those Royal Guard, but they'll be alright. Door walls are coming in. Can we sprint forwards, please? And you, stop shooting us. Shoot at the enemy. Better have not lost many. Now that 13%, does that include our allies? Probably does, doesn't it? Now I've got units over there being pressed up. Right, let's move forward. Just shut them down. We outnumber the enemy massively, so there's no real major threat. But I'd like to try and not lose the bulk of my army. Which one's still in shield will come out of that. Right, you guys can just stop doing what you're doing because I'm sure you're killing us now. There isn't really anyone for you to target. Riddermark Cavalry's just smashed us in the side. I hate these types of battles. I hate them so much. We get absolutely no time to position our forces and we just get completely screwed over by the fact that we just get caught out. Did our javelin forces get to do anything? No. If you sprint over here, then you can throw your stuff at those Riddermark Axemen and keep them pinned. Let's try and create actual flanking situations. Let's just get round. There we are. They will just blob onto them now. And enemy general lies dead, but we're taking loads of losses.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half.
With their general dying, many of them are now breaking off and running away. Oh, does it cut out when I end the stream? I never watch the end of the videos. Come on, I wanted you to hit them and you've not done it. Just throw stuff at them. I don't care if we lose a few Leodard Billmen, just kill them off. Alright, what is still going on then? Dunlending's keen to get involved. Isengard has smashed their forces that attack them. So all we really have left is those door wards, who are going to be a bit of a pain. They are elites. Just send everyone we have. There we go. That's 591. Oh my god. And we killed basically nothing. Oh, 428. He lost hardly anything. He started with way less than us. Very disappointing. I could have pressed the retreat button. Did you not see me deliberating over and over about whether we were going to get into that battle? How is Isengard doing this in battle? Isengard are amazing against cavalry. Every single Isengard unit is good against cavalry for one reason or another. They're either actual anti-cavalry like pikes or spears, or they've just got some sort of innate benefit against cavalry. So Isengard are perfectly primed to absolutely ruin Rohan, to be honest, and they do that frequently and on a regular basis. Yeah, they did use me as fodder, didn't they? Bastards. Absolute bloody bastards. But it's alright. Our losses don't matter because Seethai is coming down.
Yes. By your command.
And he's going to get involved as well. Eisenhower now only has 3 turns. I am just going to siege it out, to be honest. We'll attack key places like Edoras and Helm's Deep, but the generic Northmen towns, I'm not bothered about attacking them. Oh, you can upgrade. Oh, yes, please. Nice, didn't notice that. Londangan hasn't built anything for years. Oh, in fact, your entire... almost everything is available to you. You haven't even got a fishery yet. Get on it, boys. We're Enedwaith, for crying out loud. Enedwaith to rhyme with wife, not Enedwaith to rhyme with wraith. Those two are doing very well. Very well. Oh, you can upgrade as well. Nice. Yes, please. Buzzardum? You need 5,000 people and you've got 500. That's awful. Athamor, I don't really think you do need to keep that. No, yeah, we will. We will. The garrison can remain. You're heading down to the fort to link up with Haldad. Anyone left over can just head down to that fort, actually.
March to Exile. By your command.
Bjorn comes through as well. And another end of the turn. Hey Galu, says Joxer. I have a question about the One Ring script. How many turns does it take for the ring to reappear somewhere on the map if I couldn't take it for the first time? It stays in its location for either 8 or 12 turns. And then it rotates. And the time it takes to reappear, I think, is then another 8 or 12 turns. I can't really remember. I didn't write the ring script. And I barely ever pay attention to the ring. So little things like that, I'm afraid I've forgotten. But it doesn't take very long to reappear. If you finish the Reunited Kingdom script, will we get the Gondorian units as well? Or will it be similar to the Kalmar Union in Med 2? It will exactly be the Kalmar Union. That is why it's not going to be as good as people hope. Using the Kalmar Union script, as I've explained before, but we'll explain again, you only get the units from the faction that you're merging into, or you're merging with. So you are the main, you're primary. We'll call you Faction A, and we'll call them Faction B. Faction A, the one that does the script, that starts the merging, they keep all of their units. The units that they get from Faction B are only the units that they already got. You do not automatically gain access to all of B's roster. Now, we can set it up so that you do get access to their entire roster, but we won't do that. We will give you a select number of their units, but we're not going to duplicate. So, for example, the Northern Dúnedain in completing the Reunited Kingdom aren't going to get Gondor Militia, for example, because they've got their own militia. They're not going to need that. You will get things like Gondor Infantry. You'll get all the fiefdom units, of course. You will get a lot of Gondor's units. But for a smaller version of this script, the Woodland Realm and the Lothlorien merger, which you're all going to see when we play as the Woodland Realm in the next week or so, that script will only let you train a few units from either Lothlorien or the Woodland Realm. You're not going to get access to like their entire roster. But in allowing the Woodland Realm and Lothlorien to merge, I think we need to have a little review, and it's something I plan on doing after this very stream, actually, and this afternoon. I think we need to have a review of what units you do actually get. And we need to make it so that not merging with them, so accepting the alliance but not doing the full merge, I think we need to make that have equal weight in your mind. So I plan to just have a little look at what units are available and possibly retink it. I'm also quite keen on... Well, it needs to end the turn again. Apologies, this is just end turn-itis. I'm also quite keen on making it so that the elite unit that you otherwise get if you reject the alliance wholesale, I'd quite like to make that unit available whatever happens. Because to my mind, it's just a complete waste of that one unit. And at the moment, the script is nowhere near as involved or as much of a question as the Dorwinian script. So Dorwinian has a choice as well. You either choose elves or you choose humans. But that, because your entire roster is shaped by the choice you make, it gives replayability. You can play Dorwinian at least twice, and both times will be different. Whereas if you play as Lothlorien and you reject the alliance, all you get access to is one single elite unit. If you play as Lothlorien and you accept the alliance, you get access to like 4 Woodland Realm units. That, to my mind, isn't really replayability. That's just an almost arbitrary, we need to give a reward for the rejection path, so here, just let them have an elite unit. Whereas I think we could possibly, with the Woodland Realm and Lothlorien, I've not given it major thought as yet. These are only minor thoughts that have been popping into my mind. My thinking is to do away with the idea of rewards at all and instead just base it on pure gameplay. So instead of you being rewarded for choosing X, Y, or Z option, the choice comes down to, do I want to merge with Lothlorien and take on their borders and their bounds and then take on some of their units, or do I want to play the campaign in the normal way but also have their units? So what I think I'm quite keen on doing is making the choice of whether or not you merge with them have the same benefits as whether or not you don't merge with them. But the question, the problem, is going to come when we then try and look at what do we do to reward the player that rejects the alliance altogether. How do we reward them? And my thinking at the moment really is just to make it, if we need something along those lines, I plan on thinking about it an awful lot more, but if we do need to reward the player that rejects the alliance, then my thinking is that we allow them to train the elite unit everywhere, whereas if you accept the alliance, you still get your elite unit, but only in Amunlank, Karas Galadon, and Thranduil's Hall. Is my rough rudimentary thought process at the moment. But as I say, I'd quite like to go away from the idea of reward and instead focus more on play style. We are attacked by Rohan, interestingly. I'm just going to auto-resolve that. It might be a foolish move, but that's a minor battle. I don't really want to fight against 1,000 of them when we got 5,000 Enedwaith forces. Oh, first Captain Shakur is with us. Exterminate the population. Now, we don't share the same culture as Rohan, so we won't have an easy time as we did with Dunland. We won't be able to just blitz through here and train units as soon as we capture them. So what we really need to do is make Dunyard and Bregnas recruitment centres so that our front line moves forward. Indeed, Lynx, that is the problem. Why would you ever reject the alliance if the other side has benefits? But to my mind at the moment, there is absolutely no reason to reject the alliance already. So unless we can think up something that actually makes it really worthwhile, I don't think a single player out there at the moment rejects the alliance because it's just not worth it. If you accept the alliance, yes, your capital city is going to be attacked, but you get 3 units to defend it anyway, and then after that you get like 4 more units to play around with. It's just there's almost no reason to reject the alliance at the moment, and I don't, other than completely reworking the whole thing from the ground up. I think we should just lean into that and just say balls to it. You should accept the alliance. Rejecting it has no benefits, because I don't think anyone rejects it anyway. Let's get that second tier of the fishery after the roads, and then that'll build up quite nicely. Buzzardum, chicken farming is up. Oh, war declared. Whom and whom? Harad and Mordor have gone to war. What an interesting game this is shaping up to be. Right, Seethike, you go forward and lead the charge, because you now have the best army. We're going to go for the Hornburg. We're going to go and knock on the door of the Hornburg. Enedwaith's might and glory will shine through.
Yes, my lord.
Unfortunately, Dolaith is now very much a secondary general, so let's pull in the little army that we've been training over there. But your entire army is coming too. Get them to bugger off. There we are.
Yes,
and if all of you come over here. And then you can leave some units behind. We've got the Fowlan. I really don't want Ballister. We're against Rohan. We do not need siege. Get that lot in there. Take that fort for now. And then when those troops are ready, they'll come and join you. To be honest, the elite units are so rare and late anyways, indeed. Tomorrow they will have 5,000 guns, 3,000 guns, my version 5. I think there should be an option to reject it and gain bonuses, especially as Thranduil.
Your orders, my lord.
But what bonuses can one offer for simply rejecting an alliance with the Woodland Realm? Well, at the moment, version 6 links you speak so with such optimism. I Well, I mean, we could... I'm going to add in the Woodland Realm and Lothlorien merger, because that's just a one-line addition to the script. So for a baseline, we'll just add that in for now, and then worry about what happens with them, I suppose, in the future. But at the moment, there is really no reason to reject the Alliance, to my mind. Master Ajax, hey Gallo, quick question. Since you're on the topic of elves, have you and the mod team thought about doing a script with the High Elves where they reform the last alliance but taking over the Sylvan? No. No. Why would we do that? We don't need to reform the last alliance. And it would be a horrible scripted battle after battle. It would not work at all. I'm afraid. Right, here we are, the Hornburg beckons, where we find Beda ready to die for his country and his kin. Has the Hornburg been fixed so that both our armies actually attack? That's the question. Oh, Gondor's been destroyed. We were going to use Gondor to get some of our victory regions. It's disappointing. You can just add buildings. And there we are. Right, all of you get over and join in the fort. And of you, sir, do you have any units that are actually full? Yeah, you are. Oh, and the archers, yeah. I'll take all of that lot. Swap out the Stuff Sheath Elders. Right, and then the rest of you can just go in the town for now then, where you can sit there and become a garrison. Indeed, actually, if we move the entire that training point down to Eisenrun, there we are. Then everyone that's coming that way will now move down to Eisenrun as well. What do we want to build here? What is it? Middlemen 1%. It doesn't really matter. They're never going to like us. I imagine we'll win the campaign before Eisenrun becomes of use. But at least we besiege them now in the Hornburg. Let's move our spies. Edoras. You've reached Edoras, the capital city of Rohan. It was built by Rohan's second king, Brego, son of Eol the Young. Isn't he called Eol the Younger? It is home to Meduseld, the golden hall of the king of Rohan. At the top of the hill, Edoras' great stables were built... that could do with being reworded. Were built next to Meduseld. Oh, King Theoden! He stands as the actual king still. I assumed he died ages ago. Well, we'll be pleased to meet him on the field of battle. Otherwise, I think we can end the turn again, but we are going to have a battle now, everyone. We're going to attack the Hornburg straight away, for the visuals and for the lols, if you will. Gallo, I always wondered that which DaC faction is Hungary from Med 2. Thanks for the answer. Ered Luin are Hungary. I hear Brie is lovely this time of year if you're looking for a target. You're not building in Alkfud. Oh well. We've got 72,000 gold coins. I don't think it'll matter. By the way, Gallo, why are there only 5 beacons in an Orien? Or are some of the watchtowers supposed to be beacons? Because we can't actually physically represent all of the beacons in the space available to us. It would just be a line of beacons basically touching each other, because of how the map is generated. By the way, Gallo, you can just start it by just saying Gallo. You don't have to say by the way. Gallo is showing a perfect example of how not to build buildings. Always get carpenters line in and then stack up buildings as you want. You'll save money and get more troops. Yes, you probably would steal Crusader, but again, if I could just refer you to my earlier comment, you'll note we actually have 72,000 gold coins, and we make about 6,000 gold a turn. So it really does not matter one jot how I build my buildings now. But if complete and total administrative purity is what you're after, then yes, by all means, build the building, the builder's hall first, and then add buildings after it is built, because otherwise it does not affect the building immediately after it in the line. Don Amroth has died as well. You see, I do know all of these things, I just avoid them to enjoy playing the game more. Because I don't want to have to come back to Karas in 5 turns to save 200 gold coins. It's just not worth my time. We're getting to the point where the administration of our realm is now essentially boring busy work, and we should just hand everything over to auto-manage, really, so that we don't have to worry about any of this stuff. But anyway, enough of this. Let's attack the Hornburg with our finest. Unfortunately, no one is experienced, but we don't have many archers, which is quite good, because the Hornburg is not an archer-friendly assault. And they've got a shed-load of cavalry. An absolute, veritable shed-load. They're also going to get a lot of garrison forces. Holy Jesus. Oh, they really do get a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 garrison forces stand with them. Alright, let's do this. An hour of essentially nothing has happened for the great battle of the Hornburg to take place. Look how the smirk grin on his face. We're going to knock that right off. 2 Riddermark cavalry. Arid Lancers, Arid Skirmishers, 2 Rohirrim, and Rohirrim Archers. In we go.
I shall
Death
lead our
and
forces
glory.
into battle, my lord.
Doom, 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 doom. Oh, hello, Izzy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Start deployment. Do we get our unit next to us? Yes, it has been fixed. Fantastic. So our reinforcing army can actually join the battle. They start a little bit further away, but they can come and get involved. Welcome to the Hornburgers displayed by Medieval 2 under the parameters and limitations of the mod. There is a large sprawling causeway, which we have to walk up and get through that gate. Alternatively, actually, we could have brought ladders, and I feel foolish now for having not done so, because you can mount this wall, as you'd expect. The Deeping Wall, of course, as it is known. Up at the back there, another gate, which the game has tried to create a road for, but it's a bit mountainous. You can then climb through here and through to the square in the centre. This is going to be the sloggiest Slogfest of all Slogfests, and I've foolishly forgotten to turn off the timer, because we might not get through in time because of how sloggy this map is. Particularly given that we are all going through that one gate. So this is actually going to be quite dull, to be honest, because the entire force is just going to walk through a hole in the wall, and then we've got to try and hope that we can kill them quicker than the time runs out. But we've got some Enedwaith forces in our army now, and I'll show you all of those in a moment, but let's just get everyone ready first. So, the ranged contingent. Oh, I've put you in there, but you're not. I meant that one. I meant that one, alright. There they are. Enedwaith Marksmen. Okay, so then the Javelin forces. We've got a lot of Javelin forces. If we can somehow utilise our Javelin forces, we might actually do well, because they are all good. We've got Life Cavalry, which won't be of any use whatsoever, so we won't send them in. And then we've got some standard mid-tier Gunth. We're going to walk up. Now, if memory serves, Helm's Deep doesn't shoot you. Although those are listed as towers, so maybe they do actually. That one's a building, and the Horn itself is also a building. So there are 2 towers. And the union of the 2 towers. I like how because you can't actually have bigger gates. They have to be this size. So this is what a lot of modders have done, where they make the gate visually different above and try and make it just look like it's all one thing. I like it. It serves a purpose. Right, the ram's going up. If you could please attack. I should have trained siege towers. This is moronic. Oh dear. This, I'm afraid, is actually going to be a woeful battle. We're going to spend most of it at ×6 as our army just slogs through the hordes and hordes of enemy units. We're going to walk up the hill with these, and whilst they are up there battering down the gate, we'll come out of ×6 briefly, and we can have a look at Enedwaith's elite units. So here they are, Enedwaith Guardsmen. They have a nice-looking, well-rounded shield. The Guardsmen are spear units, I believe. 2-handed spears, if memory serves. No, they are just standard spearmen. They've got a javelin that they throw beforehand, as you might expect. They have 22 total offense with a 10 javelin damage and 7 melee attack. Skill against mounts and effective against armor, but with the javelins, not with the spears. Supporting them are Enedwaith Marksmen, who have similar visuals. A slightly smaller shield, but same sort of pattern and themes with on. They've all got this yellow and grey themed tabard, which I really quite like. And they don't really now bear a resemblance at all to the Enedwaith Guardsmen, upon which they are based. But the Marksmen have 17 total defense with an 8 melee, a 5 missile, and a 3 charge. So don't really charge them in much. But that's a pretty good missile attack for a Wildman nation, of course, just below human rangers. So they're in that second tier of human elites, just after the rangers. And then, of course, we also get the Life Cavalry. Same visuals again. They are just solid charging cav. Slightly worse on the defense, though, with only 16. 10 charge bonus, though, with a 7 attack. And they use their spears throughout. It doesn't look like they have a secondary. And I don't think they do. I think they just remain as spear cavalry. And then, of course, the Hirchrohoil Cosentori, our most elite unit, and our best javelin force. They have 12 missile attack, 15 melee attack with their 2-handed swords, and 21 attack. They are Enedwaith's ultimate strike infantry, throwing their... Oh, they do axes rather than javelins, sorry. They throw their axes in first, and then once they finish with those, they come in with giant 2-handed swords and cleave through whoever tries to get in their way. You shouldn't play on time 6 because it slows everything down, but eh. Thank you very much, Iron Wolves Productions, for $5 US. Hello, Gallo. I'm looking to make a Ravanian-focused submod of DaC. Any good tutorials on making a new campaign map? I mean, Total War Center has plenty of tutorials on everything modding related for Med 2, so you'll find that what you need in there.
Our men have reached
Very
the
much.
gate with a battering ram.
Dun, 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 dun. Right, we have
Our men
two
have done
options,
well.
really.
The gates are
Well,
full.
3, I suppose. No, because we didn't bring any siege towers. So we have 2 options. Option A is slog through all of this force, climb up that hill and walk in. And option B is try and kiss this unit off of the walls and walk through this little tunnel here and drop down on the square there. We are going to try and do both if we can. But first of all, we've got to get through these Westron defenders who are set up and ready to smash us to Kingdom Come. Oh dear, we're going to die. We are going to die here. They don't have any ranged units at all, so if we've got anyone that can shoot a thing, you should move forward and shoot your thing. And can we get you to come and stand at the bottom of that hill? Yeah. We'll try and get some of the javelins to fire off. Our allies on the march, he's coming over as well. Alright, our armies have met. Our forces now stand together in the doorway. Now the cavalry will die really easily. I'm not worried about their cavalry at all, but the Westron defenders are going to take ages to
If we
break.
continue like this,
They are going to be a
we'll
real
smash
tough
the
nut to
enemy.
crack. And unfortunately, because there's nowhere really for their defensive forces to go other than the square, even if we try and rush to the square, like try and use this path to get to the square, we're still going to have to basically kill all of their forces to actually get there. It is madness how many forces they actually get.
Just tell me who to kill.
But our archers are in position and they're at least firing on some, so we'll get some kills from that. Oh, and our reinforcements are now coming through as well. Leard and Billman leading the way. Mordag skirmishers, Keefi huntsmen, Fallon warriors. They're an army as you might expect. No wall ditch or drawbridge. The Enedwaith cav is indeed like a shock cav, yes. Yes. Please do feel free to ask questions. Usually I don't pay attention to the chat whilst battles are taking place, because I at least try and pretend like I'm going to win them. But of course this time it is just a slog. There's very little that we can do. Because I have foolishly forgotten to build towers or ladders. Which, as I'm gathering from the chat, Izzy also did not do. What about a Galathrim Archer script for Rohan? Greetings from Oslo. Greetings, indeed. No, we won't add an Elven script to Rohan. That is... I appreciate it happened in the film, and that we could do fan service to the fans of the film by adding elves in the defense of Rohan. But we would need to create a unique Elven unit that can be deleted after the battle each time, and that's just a waste of an Elven slot. We can add the generic Elven garrison, of course, but then everyone would moan, these aren't the elves that were in the film, these are high elves, why are they at the garrison? So we'd have to create a unique unit purely for this, if a player ever attacks the Hornburg. And to my mind, that's just a waste of a unit slot, so we won't be doing that. Oh, we have managed to push right through at the gate there, which is nice. And do remember that even though these are all Javelin units, they are actually pretty damn good warriors if they can be warriors. So let's charge the best ones up onto that wall and try and force our way to the centre with the backup forces. Why aren't you shooting? Shoot at someone. The other archers are shooting. Fools. No, you can't use a ram, but it seems answers have already been given to those. I have a question. Dwarven accuracy, an own tier, or is it just human accuracy? It's just human accuracy. Dwarves don't have their own tier of accuracy. Would we consider removing a couple of defenders from the Hornburg? No. And the reason is because Isengard would otherwise absolutely ruin Rohan in every game ever. And also, this is one of the major battle maps of Middle-earth. It should have a good garrison. Please add Gandalf as a garrison. A question, if I may. Any reason to have actual defender units and not normal units? Yes, because if we add normal units, we can't delete them after the battle, which means every time the city is attacked, whoever owns that city just gets free units to do what they want with. Every single time it is sieged. So you very quickly get a huge army that you can use that your enemies can't. Come on, guys, I told you to climb on the wall, and if by the looks of it, I think the doorway to the wall is already open, isn't it? Oh no, the defenders have the wall. Alright, go up this one then. Go up this one instead. Cut left and go up that one. We've pushed them back from the actual gate, so you should be able to push in. This is one of those horrible maps, though, where we've got so many troops present in the battle today that if we try and speed this up to ×6, the game will likely actually lag even more than it would if we leave it at ×1. But these units just do not want to get up on that wall. What are you all doing? Climb. The door is right there. Just get up on the wall. Why is it saying building? Don't fire at will for a moment. Come on, guys. Climb the wall. No, and sprint as well. Keepers! Well, they are all going to the right place. They're just not getting up there. Our forces, though, are massively pushing the enemy back, which is nice. The Westron defenders that were at the walls have mostly been taken out. Oh, a first unit climbs the wall, and it's an allied Fowlum warrior. Got a buff. Come on, guys, come on. We don't want to be slogging up that hill. We need to just land on the enemy when we get there. I even thought about it beforehand. I was thinking I should turn off the timer, really, and then I just completely forgot. Stupid. Gallo, does Enedwaith still have body-piercing javelins? Yes, Enedwaith is still far and away the best javelin forces in the game. And indeed, the Circocroil Cossentori are the best javelin units now, probably in the game. Although, no, they throw axes, don't they? So I've lied to you. The best javelin unit is arguably the Enedwaith Guardsmen now, I think. Mordag skirmishers are also good for their tier, but they're not the elite ones, so they've got a little bit to learn. I don't want to send our general in, so I think what we'll do is take him out of that group. And we just need to claim the gate, and then we can worry about getting troops up on these walls. Come on, please, just climb the wall. Just go up there. I can't even see them in amongst the mesh. I don't know which units are mine and which units are... Like, no one is blocking their access to that wall. They're just not climbing it. Most of them still appear to be around the back. Yeah, look, they're all having a field day over here. Our first units have finally climbed. Yes, 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 yes. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Gone the wrong way. We're going over here. Oh, it's because they're claiming the entire wall. Alright, well that's the best we can do with that lot then. We killed the units on the ground. What on earth is happening here? This is a horrible battle. Westron defenders down to 26. Some of them are up above the gate. Oh, more units finally making their way up onto the wall. Our ally is doing more harm than good, to be honest. Just charge everyone up. Let's just leave the gate area and try and get them all out of the way. I'm not bothered about the few Westron defenders that are still fighting. Off we go. Go on. Move the bulk of the force off. Bugger off. There we go. They're going to go up and slog their way up the main hill with the bulk of our allied forces. Aha! They're finally up. They're finally up. Alright. We're moving over here, please. We're moving over here, please. If I tell them to move to the middle, I bet they'll come down off the wall and try and walk up. No. They're going all the way over there, even. Alright, let's take those ones out of the group, then. No, we want that one. Right, what I'd like you all to do is come through and attack. Come on. Let's see if they do it how we want them to do it. Or if they're going to drop off the wall and walk up the hill. They're going to drop off the wall and walk up the hill, aren't they? Yeah, you can see they're doing it now. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, for God's sake. I'll tell you what we can do instead then is Bring them back onto the wall. And then tell them to just move through. We'll just walk them through. Come back, come back, come back, come back, come back. By the time they even get there, we're probably going to have won. Although we're at 30% on the victory tally. There are still some units down there behind the gate. If we could make DaC on any Total War game in existence, I absolutely, without a doubt, would have chosen Warhammer 2 if they allowed modding. But alas, Warhammer 2 does not allow modding, and so we cannot use Warhammer 2. It's because you can't have units standing on top of each other in the hill there. This is just such an infuriating battle map. But the enemy units that were down by the gate have now finally died. So everyone that is stopping us doing what we need to do is now in the middle of the city. This would be the perfect time, guys, for you to just appear behind them. If you can please, just do as you're told. Can I run them to here? We're going to try. Get through here, get through here, get through here. Please tell me you're going to go the way that I want you to go. No, they're just not going to do it. They are just not going to use that walkway. They're all going to drop off the wall and then try and run up and round. Oh, hang on, that's the thought. Let's come out of time 6. What about if we try and get them to come up here? What about that? What about that, he says. Those units are already right up in amongst it. I don't think it really matters. I think we're starting to massacre them now. But there we are. That wall does exist. It's just an absolute nightmare to use it. Your forces just do not want to use it. Balls to it, we're doing it the old-fashioned way.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
And 2 more DaG units charge up the hill. Get them involved. How many have we lost? 20%. If you've got any javelins you can throw... Look, guys, you're up on the walls around. Just throw things at them. Ah, dear. But the fight continues. Most of the cavalry is dying off. 50% of the enemy has now died. We've got a lot of units that are routing. Our ally has loads of units at the gate. Run up the hill. Run up the hill. Please. Please get involved. Let's try and get our general around the back. He's got Sir Royal as well. Right, let's move him to there and see if he actually does what we ask, first of all. And then we can move from there. We've still got half of our time limit allowed, so that's okay. We are the ones taking the brunt of the damage.
Only half the enemy force remains.
Because our ally is not going for that final throw. Methneo007, thank you very much for the $9.99 US cent. Thank you and your crew for a great game. Also, I enjoy all of your vids, from the Imperial Guard and Skyrim to the Total War and DaC. May the 7 be with your team when finishing version 5. Name's Matthew, by the way. Well, thank you very much, Matthew. Well received and welcomed indeed. Thank you kindly. Oh, they've pushed us completely out of the square. So now would be a perfect time to come behind them. Now would just be an absolutely swell time to drop down there and come behind them. You guys are all just standing in completely the wrong place. But as the numbers drop, the ×6 becomes easier to use, which is always nice. Can you throw your axes up that hill? Go on, you know you want to.
The battle is very much in our favour.
Giving it anything. And did you climb the wall as I asked? Alright, come over here. Let's go to ×2 for now then. And then just climb up that wall. There you go. Oh, wasn't that hard? Some of them are stuck on the bottom. This is why. This is the problem. You need to have the whole battalion up ready to go. Because now some of them are outside the gate. That's why sieges in Med 2 just suck so much. They are rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. The AI just does not understand how anything works. It cannot figure out these like wall stages. Go on. Oh yes. A unit that paid attention. It's just a shame it's our general. He's probably going to die now, everyone. But he's going to die in service to proving a point. And that is a worthy death. Come on. Get into position. Go on. Come 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 on. Well, just where you are now. Just throw your things at them. Just throw your axes at them. Go defensive. Turn. Give them a volley. Yes! Yes! We have victory! Finally, a unit's doing what it's told. Throw your axes at those bodyguards. Let's get them killed off.
No longer command the castle.
Yes! We have forces at the castle centre now as well. It's going to be a win. Oh, yeah, they're down to 10%. Our breakthrough of finally getting units behind them has come a touch too late. This is exactly why Saruman brought a bomb, yeah. And if the AI here actually had even 2 brain cells, they would have been able to easily win this and play for time. If they'd put all of the Westron defenders at the gate and just moved the cavalry away, just run the cavalry out, they probably could have just stalled us long enough to take it. But there we are. Our general's going to get involved. There he is, the gentleman without the helmet. The Chircocoil charging through. Got their 2-handed swords out and ready. Oh, look at them hacking at the back of that Riddermark cavalry. Rohan bodyguard's still alive. And I think that might be the actual general, that fellow right there with the golden armour. This is an oddly dark battle map as well, isn't it? Probably because we're in the shadow of the mountains, I suppose. But with any luck, we at least won't get our general killed. It's a bit late to try anything else, really. Just the slog must continue, sadly. Right, whoever's down here, just keep plugging away. Just keep charging up that hill. It's time 6 it. Get our forces to sprint up there if we can. Oh, I tell you what we might do, might be easier, is just run them through. And then they will force the back of the AI force. Yes, there we go. There we go. We pushed them back to the centre. Now we just need to kill everything before that timer runs out. What have we got? 3% of the enemy left. Airhead Lancers in there. How many guardsmen survived? Only 73. It's not over yet. Yeah, to be honest, I only really play the city sieges in the key Lord of the Rings locations, just so that we can see them. Even though this has now been a 20-minute long siege where we have basically done nothing other than slog away at the enemy, it's worth it to at least show off the key locations. And of course, the video can now be the siege of the Hornburg, which is always nice. Don't get me wrong, this is a wonderful battle map if you're defending it. Very easy to defend, very easy to play for time, and the AI often struggles abysmally on this battle map, but it's a absolute ball ache to assault this place. Damn near impossible. Oh dear. But we've won. We've won. Rohan have lost their great defensive fortress, and our armies can now defend here. Look at all the colours of Enedwaith. That's what we like to see. No longer is Enedwaith a sea of green and brown. There's now plenty of colours in there. Greens, reds, yellows, still some browns, but of course you're going to have some browns. They're wildmen, for crying out loud. The colours are preserved for the more civilised races who actually have time to have people to dye their clothing. But if you're just a simple fisherman, you're just going to wear whatever you can cobble together from furs and animal skins and whatnot, and they tend to be dark colours. Browns predominantly. The general hasn't died yet, but he is the only one left of his company, and he's absolutely surrounded. Someone will get him in a second. Although he just killed someone without even hitting them. Oh no, was that an enemy unit? I think that was an enemy unit. Oh, wolf swords are in play here. Oh, that's nice. all these years after the actions of Wolf forced Helm Hammerhand to die here in the Hornburg. Those named after him return. Can we please kill this fellow? Although we've got plenty of time now.
Very
But
much in our favor. Victory will be ours.
I want every single unit that we have. Every man and strong lad able to bear arms to be ready to battle by nightfall. To bring down that man.
Good tidings.
Yeah.
The enemy be awed by the victory we have won
It's
here
over.
today.
It's done. Seethike, we lost 603. Chiefs and Donghai, 1,149. Not as good. And the top slot in today's slog of a battle actually goes to Learden Billman of our AI, annoyingly. 197 and 195 for the backup. In our own army, 122 Foulham Warriors. But it's done. Dark Nova Z. By the way, Mr. Gallu, the other way I was attacking the Hornburgers Erebor with two dwarf catapults, and with both only managed with all the ammo to get one part of the wall to 95%. As it should be. As it should be. Good afternoon, Gallu. Good afternoon, Devil's Demon. Are you the same Devil's Demon as from all the way back with Battle of Middle-earth fame? My general survived, yeah. Oh, 27,000 people reside within the fortress of the Hornburg, and 27,000 people have just been put to death. We shall line the walls with the bodies of their mangled and tortured corpses. We shall send a far greater message to Rohan and to Edras itself with the sight of the destruction and carnage we caused to not only their walls and their homes, and their villages and their towns, but to the very bodies of their people. They think us willful savages. Let us live up to that name in this instance. The pyre of burning bodies could probably be seen all the way from Minas Tirith to the Hornburg. It'd be known as a dark day in Rohan's history, for they will die, and this is the start of that journey of destruction.
It will be an honor.
I'm rather chuffed with that. We've taken it. Our two armies survive. The Hornburg itself is a major citadel, where we find the Hornburg, which just reinforces the gates, but as you see, made basically no difference. There's a Northman way station here, which has a really bad AI, but the way station at the moment isn't even in the game, so that doesn't matter. And anything we can't use? Stables has no purpose for us. Oh, the Glittering Caves have been rebuilt. Oh, of course, because they had the Dwarven Warriors, didn't they? Of course. Horses for courses. Otherwise, we do share a lot of buildings with them, actually. We can't use that, and we can't use that. We'll get rid of that in case they take it back. And that'll do, really. Enedwaith doesn't really use the way station. We don't really have any AOR units anymore, other than the Circo the Coisantori. We might as well keep training troops, I suppose. Keep sending units down. What I am going to do there, though, is end the live stream. But let's take a look at the world before we do that, shall we? Toggle Fog of War. Let's go and have a little butchers. So Rohan having much of Rohan as you'd expect, but Mordor knocking on their door. So we've got to rush to try and claim Rohan's regions, and then Mordor is the chief threat. But Mordor is, of course, now at war with both Harad and the Ardenaim. And I think Mordor probably will win that fight, to be honest. Mordor is now all-powerful, mightily supreme. And are they allied to Isengard? No, they're not. Oh, we can get Isengard involved. Isengard is doing terribly. Derwath, Gund, Balorn, and Isengard itself. Although they've managed to take Foldberg, actually, which helps. But it looks like it's going to be I really don't want to fight Mordor, so I really hope they don't attack me, because that is not a battle I'm interested in. I would much rather shift our focus and attack our long-standing allies. Ah, Matraith has been upgraded to a Bree large city. That is what a Bree large city looks like. Very cool. If we attack Bree, though, we risk, unfortunately, war with most of the northern nations. They're allied to the Dunedain, the Dwarves, and the High Elves. So it's Enedwaith versus all of Eriador. How many more regions do we need? We only need 6 more regions. We'll probably get at least 2 from Rohan. Edoras definitely, and maybe Ginyard, and if not Onodrith. So we only need 4 more regions, and then we've won. I could get those 4 regions by backstabbing Isengard and winning with washing them away, I suppose, but we shall see. We shall see. In the east, we haven't really looked over there. Rune are doing well. They are holding back Dorwinion. And Dale's made it to Rubar, though, so Rune aren't doing fantastically well. They've got Logarth. Barsouthus has fallen to Dorwinion. Dol Guldur are basically dead. Dorthalu, Dantalad, Dol Guldur itself, but the Woodland Realm have cleansed the forest. I hope to live up to that when we play as them in a week's time. Bjorn's Halls has been upgraded, proving that the Anduin script now indeed has certainly been fixed. So Bjorn's Halls, the Anduin get the same visuals. And there is a Wildman stronghold. All stone, but still keeping that same sort of Mott and Bailey theme. So the Anduin doing all right. Erebor are absolute powerhouses. So after Gundabad fell, Angmar mopped up much of what Gundabad had. But it would seem that Erebor have then rolled over Angmar, and Angmar are now not long of this world. They've got very little left. Angsuld is held by the dwarves. Bari Donionach is still held, but that seems to be about it. High Elves just camping in Imladris as ever, but they've upgraded Kameth Bryn, interestingly. Oh, that's a really cool campaign strategy model. Nice. I didn't even know that was in the game. That is awesome. I like that. Modding leader here, everyone. Absolute finger on the button. Up to date with all the changes in the mod. High Elves doing what they need. Dunland's still just holding Kelowniak. We could always go and take Dunland. To be honest, I would be in favour of simply just letting this one be a win and then having two campaigns start near to each other. I have no qualms with that. We could finally play as someone we've never played as, or just do something that's a bit of fun. But anyway, for now, that is going to end. So there will be an awkward moment at the end of this video where I say goodbye and then wait about 10-ish seconds so that you actually hear me say goodbye, because I think the stream cuts off before I actually finish. So thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. We had 303-ish people at the high point today, which is fantastic. Next week at this time, 11:30 on a Saturday morning, 11 o'clock, sorry, we will be starting the Woodland Realm. So that one will kick off next week. So we're going to be playing as Thranduil and his son Legolas. The Anduin will conclude in the coming days of this week. So there are 2 more Anduin videos, and they will be the end of the Anduin campaign. Hopefully we actually do win, but if not, those 2 will just mark the end, whatever happens. And then the week after that, we will continue on as Enedwaith, where we will probably end up winning this one as well, to be honest. If we can try and get most of Rohan's regions, that will be enough for the win. We can take Kelowniak, that will be 1, and then maybe just backstab Isengard for 1 or 2, and win in one go. But there we are. Here endeth the lesson. So until we speak again, dear friends, have a fantastic Saturday, a wonderful Sunday, and do have a good week as well. And I will see you all next week for more questions and more jiving of let's laugh at how Galu plays the game terribly. But until then, Navair and Aden Pedimad Melonin, and farewell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll go 20 seconds. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,